Have you ever wanted to be a VTuber but felt totally lost on where to begin? Maybe you've watched tons and tons of tutorials on how to be a VTuber, yet still feel like you're stuck in the dark to not really knowing how to get things started. Trust me, I've been there and I know how overwhelming it can really be. But don't you worry, I got you covered because today I'm going to walk you through everything you need to know to get things started as a VTuber, from creating your own virtual persona to setting up the right equipment and everything else you actually need to get things started with your VTuber journey. So what exactly is a VTuber? It basically stands for virtual YouTuber, but it's more than just being on YouTube. A VTuber is someone who uses a virtual presence, a digital character, a digital avatar of some form, whether it is a form of a picture, PNG, image, a live 2D animated character like what I usually use in my streams, or a 3D model to represent themselves online instead of showing their real face. It's like stepping into character while creating content. So here's something super important to think about before you even dive into VTubing. Your VTuber persona, or as some people call it, VTuber concept. Sure, it's very tempting to jump straight into buying an avatar and setting up all the tools, but trust me, this step is the heart of your VTubing journey. Your VTuber persona is basically who you are in the virtual world. It's the first thing your audience will see, and it already tells them something about you before you even say a word. It's easy to just pick something you think that looks cool or follow trends, but the key is to create something that reflects you, your personality, and creativity and unique vibe. So take your time to brainstorm this. With so many VTubers out there, having a strong concept helps you stand out without a doubt. Without it, viewers might not even have a reason to watch you, to choose you over someone else. I won't go too deep into the details of building a VTuber concept today, but just know that your persona is the foundation of everything that you do. So be creative, have fun with it, but don't forget to bring a piece of you into the mix. At the end of the day, it's your personality that will truly connect to your viewers and win their hearts. Next up is your VTuber model. You have two main options for this, either a 2D or a 3D. A 2D model is great for smooth anime-styled animations, and on the other hand, 3D models, this let you move around, interact more dynamically, giving you a lot of flexibility and creativity on how you want to move around. And if you're not sure what to pick, you can always go for things for free. You can download a free program called VRoid Studio. You can create your own 3D model for that one. And you can also study Live 2D Cubism if you wanted to make your own. Now, these two things are on a separate topic. If you want to make things quicker, I would suggest that you go to booth.pm. It's a website and you can download free VTuber models, or you can pay pre-made models for cheap. So you might need to take some time to browse around and stuff like that before you actually hire someone to do an exclusive model for you, because I'm gonna tell you guys now, 3D or 2D, they can be very expensive, and that is just the reality when it comes to VTubing. However, please do know that you really don't need to break the bank to be a VTuber, because there are free and low cost tools to get things started. And again, it will all depend on what kind of VTuber do you want to be. Do you want to be doing this for fun, for excitement, for temporary? Or do you want to start this as a career? But before we go down to that rabbit hole, let's first talk about the equipment essentials that you actually need as a VTuber. Now, let's talk about gears. This is very important. While you don't need a fancy setup to start, you will still need to have a decent webcam to capture your movements and a decent lighting setup as well, which means you would need a decent room and a microphone and a computer. Your webcam should be able to capture a 1080p at least. We are using a VTuber model, which means that everything is highly reliant on the tracking device that we are using. It is recommended that if you are using a live 2D model, just like I am, to use an iPhone tracker. But if you don't have that, you can always have a webcam. There are other tools to make things more expressive for you. So if you don't have iPhone, that's not the end of the world. Another thing that you would need is software. Software like VTube Studio, Luppet, and different kinds of software that can allow you to do your tracking. Number one tracking for Live 2D is VTube Studio. And for 3D, I believe that there is something called VC Face. I used to use that when I was when I'm using a 3D model. Or if you have a virtual reality headset, you can just go to VR chat and that will be your model, and it doesn't really require much except that you need the gear and you really need a really good computer. I do say decent computer. However, you really need to have a good computer to get things going in a very smoother way for your computer, for your streaming needs. So this is why getting a VTuber model may not be expensive, but if you also don't have a computer and you don't have a cell phone, it's gonna be very hard for you to get things going. So you need internet access, a stable internet access. You need a good computer. Hopefully you have a lot of space, RAM, and the most important piece of equipment that you will need is a microphone. I do have a pet peeve on this. Microphone, when it comes to VTubing or streaming or being a content creator, is the most important thing in the world. You can skip on those fancy models if you like, but please do not skip on a microphone. So I highly recommend that if you do have some extra cash, focus on your microphone first before anything else. Please do note that the more expensive a microphone is does not mean that it's a lot better for you. Yeah, just trust me on that. I had a lot of audio problems way back before, and I can attest to you that audio is the most important thing in the world because people can skip on your video. They may choose to not care about your crappy gaming, crappy video, but they cannot tolerate a crappy microphone or audio setting. If you're clipping a lot, if like they cannot hear you or there's a lot of static, there's a lot of background noises and stuff like that. A lot of people who has a lot of pet peeves or they just cannot tolerate certain sounds, what seems okay to you may not sound okay to others, and that alone may make that person not watch you, not listen to you. So yeah. And clear audio is always the key to keeping your audience engaged. If you are on a budget, no problem. You can always start small and upgrade as you go. I do have some recommendations on audio specifically and certain gadgets that I know is going to be helpful and not totally break the bank. I have tried it from the most expensive to the most cheapest one. So you might want to check down below the description of this video to see about those microphones if you like. And to be a VTuber, of course, you need to have some form of content. VTuber is virtual YouTuber, so technically you are a content creator. And a lot of people just forget about that. And they think that you're just an anime girl, and as long as you're a model, you're a VTuber. But it doesn't really stop there. You need to have a form of content, and also you need to choose where you are going to be streaming, if you are going to be streaming, or do you want to just make a pre-recorded video and upload that to YouTube or to whatever platform that you choose. When it comes to platforms, Twitch and YouTube are the most popular for VTubers. If you're just starting out and you already have a content and niche of some kind, I think YouTube might be better for creating videos and building an audience that way. However, if you don't know anything and you're just streaming for fun, gaming every day and stuff like that, I think Twitch is a lot better, and it will give you more exposure to other people as well that way. Not in a very big manner though, especially if you're small, but you can start with Twitch and it will give you better result. That's how I started. And also, I would assume that as soon as you started your VTubing career, you still don't know what to do. And that's what happened to me. So you just got to practice and just stream, because streaming is also a different form of thing that you need to work on, that you need to get used to. Basically, you need to get used to talking to yourself, talking to other people most of the time. And if you're not good at talking to people, you might struggle with live streaming. So, yeah, you need to really think about these things and what you actually wanted to do. And then later on, you can branch out with what you really wanted to go. So, content planning is very, very important. And having a niche of some kind is really something that you need to think about. Are you going to be a just chatting streamer? But what are you going to be talking about? Maybe you are going to be all about singing, or someone that enjoys like making reaction videos. Or maybe you're all about gaming and you're going to be a gamer that, becomes really consistent and really, really good at the game. The most important thing is that you got to stand out and think about your niche and your content and what you actually wanted to do. But at the same time, all goes down to, why do you want to be a VTuber? And if you become a VTuber, what do you want to do? And just do that, regardless of what other people think when it comes to what you wanted to do with your VTubing life. Finally, consistency is key. Create a schedule, stick with it, keep showing up, interact with your audience is also very important. Please do answer their comments, chat during streams, and make your viewers feel like they're part of your world. And don't forget to join VTuber communities on Twitter, Discord, Reddit. Networking with other VTubers, collabing is always a great way to learn and grow. At the same time, it will also help you with the burnout. It's very, very easy for VTubers to be people pleasers. Sometimes it's just going to be very, very mentally draining for you. And even though it is something that you wanted to do, don't have to agree to everyone else as a result. So you don't need to be super fast with everything else that you wanted to do in life when it comes to VTubing. Just be consistent. I used to stream every day, and I have limited it down to 2 times a week, because you still need a life. You still need a life so that as soon as you show up on stream, you have something to talk about. Those kinds of stuff. So don't stress and overstress yourself is the key to everything else, is what I would say to you guys. And also take some time to really find out what you wanted to do. And if you're always streaming all the time, you won't exactly have the time to think about what you wanted to do in life. And you got to take a look on what you can do, make use of your strength, and don't just copy what is popular and trendy at the moment, because what will work for others might not work for you. Like, for example, you see Filian flipping around, being silly all the time, and crashing her headset here and there. And sure, you want it to be Filian, but can you waste 10 headsets all in one go for every flip that you have? If you don't have the means to have many headsets around you, you cannot do what they're doing, and that won't be so entertaining, right? So you need to be very strategic on what you can do. Replication is very important when it comes to VTubing. That's why you always need to study, always need to take a look on what's going on out there, what other peoples are doing. But you also need to make sure that it is something that you can do. And at the end of the day, you need to be happy. You need to enjoy what you're doing. You need to love what you're doing. So, that's basically the very beginner nutshell when it comes to your VTuber streaming journey. And I know it can be very overwhelming at first, but remember, everyone starts somewhere. So focus on being yourself, have fun, share your creativity to the world. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe for more tips and becoming the best VTuber you can be. So I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye!